Hello, what's up, guys? It's Watership here, and welcome to another episode of me yapping. First of all, I want to thank you for all the subscribers I got. I think I have 8 subscribers now, so thank you all. And yeah, today I'm gonna talk about that everything is gonna be fine, and you don't need to worry about it. Here's a story that I have. It was at the end of my high school. So during that time, if we want to get into a college, I'm sure it's the same for everyone as well. But then, if you want to get into a college, you must first take like an public exam, and if you did not do well enough, in the Americans version, I know you need to go to a community college, and I know it's the same for us. But back then, it was a really tough time for me because uh, back then I didn't have the motivation to study, and it was quite conflicting because I know that my parents wants me to get into a college and have a degree. But in this time of year and this era, everybody have a college degree. So I believe that even if you don't have a college degree, everything is gonna work fine. But for me, in my story, um, yeah, uh, my parents wanted me to work hard for my college exam, you may say. But then, back then, I just didn't love to study. I Even when I went to my school to study, I always didn't get to zone in my studies. Whenever I'm in my room trying to study, I just end up looking at the sky for 6 hours, waiting it to get dark, and then just get off and play. But then my parents are actually very stressed about it because in the Asian society, if you don't have a college degree, it means that you're going to sleep in the floor, no house, nothing, and then you're gonna be homeless. But then, because I want to say that at the time I was having my public exams, well, I don't want to say I lied, but then I made up higher expectations for myself, and my parents have high hopes of me because every single day I went in my room and study in my own room, and they think that I was actually study hard. I was studying hard, but then actually I was kind of doing nothing. But then that's another story. It just the thing is not for me. But then I'll always keep on getting distracted and stuff. And back then, I didn't actually go to the doctor to see if I have anything like ADD. But then after when my results came out in like July 16th, I remember it was my birthday as well. So it kind of sucked. But then yeah, it is what it is. The result released, and then it was not as expected to be as high, but then it was enough to get into a community college. But then my parents did not have high hopes of me of getting to college because there's a rumor that you need to have high GPA in community college to get back to an actual university. So my parents, I feel like they did not have high hopes on me, and even if they did, they will always be stressed, and it's just the vibes were off in my family. But then uh, that was the time when I diagnosed with ADD, and then I got my medication, and then I actually started studying. I don't know why, it's just magical. I'm not telling you to take any drugs, by the way. I'm just saying that getting diagnosed and stuff really helped me on my study, and then things were at the end were looking quite good, and I got to a university now, and it's my year 3. But all in all, I just want to say that no matter what, I think things are gonna turn out to be better than you expected. It may not be the best, but then everything will work fine. Like in your high school right now, if you're having any problems and then you're stressing about it, just remember one thing. Like everything is going to be fine and it's gonna turn out to be okay. Sometimes not expected, but then it is what it is. No regrets. And yeah. And I also have another experience in my university actually. So after my community college, because I actually did have quite good marks, but then in in my university I wanted to have the same results, and so I studied really hard because actually when I transferred to the university, things were a lot harder. Like the assignments were a lot less. I guess it was the community college pushing you to do more work so that you can like study and be well prepared for the exams. And then though the success rates of going back to the university is high, but then in university it's more independent, and there's way less assignments, tests. But then when in exam, since I wanted to have the same results, I studied way longer, and I studied back then when I'm in my community college. I remember I always ended my studying period in 7 p.m. sharp, and it was the best time because I knew what I was doing. But then in university, some of the chapters are actually really hard. Like if you don't have any homework or no experience, you will not know how to do the exam. So I studied till I think the worst I got was uh 3 a.m. I studied till 3 a.m. It was the worst few weeks of my life. I never knew I had that in me, but then no, I was stressed out of my exams because I have way less practice on the questions they will ask, so I studied way later. I had way less rest and stuff. It was awful. But all I'm just gonna say is that, at the end, when the result released, I it was the results are still good, but not what I expected. It was lower than my expectations, and I was so stressed out about it because I thought I was gonna fail. I don't know why. Maybe because due to the lack of exercise, I thought I was gonna fail, and I was so stressed out to the point that when I finished revising, I could not sleep. But at the end, I got an above average results. Not what I expected, but everything turned out to be fine. It's not as worse as I thought. And yeah, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you have any questions you want to ask or any advice you want me to give, yeah, feel free as well. All I just want to say is that uh, after stressing for like a long time, everything is just gonna work out in the end, and I feel like live the day like there's no tomorrow, because when you're so stressed out about future stuff, you like be not yourself and you have really high pressure. And I feel like if you have an attitude that everything is gonna be fine and everything is gonna work out in the end, you will live your day way more happy. I don't know if you're in a stressful time. Maybe it's in the summer holidays now and you have no stress. But if your grades are like bad or anything, just remember that if you try your best, and then it's fine. Like it's not the end of the world. Like everything is gonna turn out fine at the end, even if your results may not be as expected this semester or this term. It's okay. You have a next term. You can try again. Just put your hard work in it, and even if it's not in your expectation, just relax because you knew you try your best, and at the end, if you know you tried your best, then it's fine and everything is gonna work in the end. Like, trust me, if you stress about something in the future, it's not gonna be a fun time. Just live in the moment and just know that however things get, it's gonna work well in the end. So yeah, thanks for listening to me yap. I don't know. I took a short break, so yeah. And yeah, if you have any advice you want to seek from me, feel free to type your question or anything. And if no, I'll see you soon.